Coming up next, after the first big snowstorm of the year, a cold blast hits our area. We have the latest and the forecast. Plus, 4 local firefighters are honored for their bravery while fighting a blaze.
I didn't really think, I just did. I knew I had to get him out, and that was my only goal because I really didn't know how bad, how hurt he was.
And Penn State's long search for a new head coach is making national headlines. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Alec Brown.
And I'm Emma Goldkoff. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the coldest weather of the season so far across central Pennsylvania. Lows dipped into the single digits in some places overnight, and it's still very chilly this afternoon. This comes after the first significant snowstorm of the season this week. Plows were out clearing roads and schools closed as 2 to 4 inches of snow fell, making driving dangerous. Student meteorologist Luke Snyder is live outside with more on this cold snap. Luke?
Thank you so much for that, Emma. You are definitely correct. Many places across Pennsylvania saw temperatures well into the single digits, potentially some places even in the northern tier below freezing for their current temperatures earlier this morning. And we're going to be seeing that coldness continue throughout much of the Commonwealth as well. If we take a current look at our golf courses here at Penn State, again, we're going to be seeing that snow is blanketing much of the ground right now, with temperatures staying well below freezing. We're not going to be seeing much of that snow begin to exit the area anytime soon, especially. We're definitely going to be seeing students bundling up on campus today. And as we look at our current conditions here right now in State College, we're currently sitting at around 21 degrees, but that feels like looking at around 13 degrees, that we have a very significant wind chill that's going to be impacting our temperatures, causing them to be much chillier than they actually feel. And we'll see that trend continue throughout much of the campus. But back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Luke. The man arrested in Altoona, who's accused of murdering the United Healthcare CEO, has spent this week in court in New York. Luigi Mangioni's lawyers are trying to get evidence in his case thrown out. Hope Green reports.
Luigi Mangioni's lawyers have spent all week trying to convince a judge to kick out evidence in his Manhattan murder case. The 27-year-old is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York street a year ago this week. It was a stunning crime caught on video. A 5-day manhunt led police to a McDonald's in Altoona where they arrested Mangioni. The break in the case was a 911 call from a McDonald's manager saying, "I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, and he looks like the CEO shooter from New York." The manager said, "So they're really upset and they've come to me." An Altoona police officer who responded to that call and later arrested Mangioni took the stand in court this week. Officer Joseph Detweiler testified, "I did not think it was going to be the person that they thought it was." After the officer approached Mangioni asking him to take off his mask, Detweiler said, "I knew it was him immediately, and I knew there was a safety issue possibly for us." Defense attorneys argued the evidence found on him during the time of arrest was illegally obtained, claiming officials searched his belongings without a warrant and questioned him before reading him his rights. Police say in a backpack was a 9mm 3D printed handgun used on the United Healthcare CEO, in writings outlining a possible motive of health insurance industry frustrations. This all comes months after a New York State judge dismissed Mangioni's most severe terrorism-related charges, ruling prosecutors didn't show enough evidence to classify the killing as an act of terrorism. Mangioni still faces murder charges at the state level and a federal case. He has the possibility of life in prison if convicted on state charges, and the death penalty at the federal level. He's pleaded not guilty. I am Hope Green for the Center County Report.
Mangioni is in federal custody as both his New York State and federal charges continue to move forward.
A phone scam is costing some Center County residents thousands of dollars. Calls are coming in from people claiming to be sheriff's deputies, some even using real employee names. Their new tactic is claiming that you've missed jury duty and that there's a warrant out for your arrest if you don't pay. The Center County Sheriff's Office says if you get one of these calls, hang up and call your local police.
State College school districts expect to start construction of the new Park Forest Middle School next summer. The school will be on Little Lion Drive in Penn Township. The current timeline has bids starting in February or March, with construction beginning in the summer. It's expected to open to students in January 2029.
A State College restaurant is permanently closing its doors after 13 years. Noodles & Company made an announcement this week about its closing. The restaurant offers dine-in or takeout featuring pasta and noodle dishes, soups, and salads. There are now 6 locations left in Pennsylvania, the closest being in Harrisburg, Camp Hill, and Pittsburgh.
4 Penn State student firefighters are being recognized for helping to rescue their captain during a raging fire in Penn's Valley. Reporter Danielle Dempsey talked with them.
Captain Christopher Martin says he's known he wanted to be a firefighter since 3 years old, following in his father's footsteps. Martin and the Alpha Fire Company Rescue 5 team were responding to a Penns Valley fire at the historic Woodward Inn this fall when the unexpected happened.
I was in front of the rest of the crew, kind of leading the way for them, and I just kind of stepped into what would end up being a rather large hole.
Martin says the crew had checked the floor well, but as they moved, he fell 10 feet into the basement on his shoulder. Firefighter Diego Gomez was the first to try to get him out.
I didn't really think, I just did. So I knew I had to get him out, and that was my only goal because I really didn't know how bad, how hurt he was.
Martin told Gomez to use a steel hook to pull a ladder through a window and lower it to him. Martin and Lieutenant Kara Stover had set up that same ladder before they went into the building in case of an emergency.
I'm not as experienced as him by any means. I don't know if I ever will be, but it was kind of neat, the out-of-the-box thinking, that how he was able to kind of coordinate his own rescue out of the hole.
Stover says she's proud of the team for keeping their composure.
Everybody remains extremely calm. Nobody was screaming, nobody was panicking, at least outwardly panicking, maybe inside, but nobody was showing it.
The firefighters credit extensive training for their quick response.
I'm very lucky to have the training I get, and to have that training actually help someone out is really nice.
That was one of my most intense moments on a fire scene. That was one of the first times I had been working on a crew where somebody had fallen through the floor and had gotten injured. I've learned about myself that I can handle that situation.
Stover, Gomez, Jang, and David Barnfield were all recognized for their bravery at a recent Center Region Council of Governments meeting. All of them are Penn State students.
They were able to work together and maintain such a level of calmness and professionalism in truly a pretty dire moment. Like I said, I think that speaks to this organization, the training, the standards, and then obviously the character and quality of them as well.
In State College, I'm Danielle Dempsey for the Center County Report.
Captain Martin says he's thankful for the support of his colleagues and his medical team at Penn State Health throughout his recovery. Martin returned to work this week and hopes to be back full-time by April. There is still no update from Penn State on plans to repair a University Park building that suffered a structural problem last month. The Susan Wells Liberal Arts Building was evacuated after firefighters said it shifted several inches and a crack developed inside. It's been closed since then with no timetable on repairs or reopening. The building just opened earlier this year. Classes were moved to other locations for the rest of the semester. We again reached out to the university for an update, but no one has responded.
Penn State also isn't commenting on its ongoing search for a new head football coach. Signing day came and went this week with no news on a potential hire. But there is news today. Sports reporter Amanda Vogt is live in our studio with more. Amanda?
Yeah, Emma, today there's alleged leaked audio from athletic director Pat Kraft during a players' meeting. That audio is making headlines nationally on social media. In it, he talks about Penn State's standards and goals, but also takes aim at rival Big Ten teams. Quote, Michigan stinks, joke, cheated. Oregon quarterback was shaking in overtime, but we have to win those games, end quote. Center County Report is not airing the audio itself because we can't independently verify its authenticity. We have reached out to Penn State Athletics for a comment, but have not heard back. As for the coaching search, it's been almost 2 months since Penn State fired James Franklin and still no replacement. As other programs across the country complete their hiring process and take names off the board, where does that leave the Nittany Lions? It's been nearly 2 months since Penn State Athletic Director Pat Kraft fired James Franklin and launched the search for his replacement.
Our next coach will be someone who embodies everything Penn State stands for: integrity, accountability, toughness, humility, and an elite motivator.
Now, more than 50 days later, there's still no new coach, lots of questions, and fan and media criticism. This week, BYU's Kalani Sitake emerged as a reported top contender, but he agreed to a long-term extension with BYU.
It's one of those moments where I felt like, us being in the Big 12, if we can make the right moves, and I don't really need to do this anywhere else, I can do it here. And I feel like we've got some great momentum.
Penn State players are posting frustration on social media as they continue to back interim head coach Terry Smith. After the Nittany Lions beat Nebraska 37-10, Smith strongly advocated for the job himself.
If I don't speak for myself, who will?
But he took a much different tone after Penn State beat Rutgers on the road 40-36 last weekend. Smith reflected while standing at the podium.
And it taught me that I have a special bond with people and my players, and that when I go forward in coaching, I have to take advantage of that. It's been a good run for me.
There's no shortage of support for Smith as other names fly on and off the board. Ohio State's Brian Hartline was just named as USF's next coach, and now NFL names, including former Giants head coach Brian Daboll and Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, have entered the conversation of the national media. While this process drags on, Penn State's recruiting is taking a hit. When James Franklin took the job at Virginia Tech a few weeks ago, he flipped more than 10 recruits. Wednesday was National Signing Day, and Penn State only had 2 commits put pen to paper. According to Rivals' recruiting rankings, Penn State has fallen outside of the top 100, and VT has climbed in the top 25. And just yesterday, Penn State star linebacker Tony Rojas posted on social media, quote, "We stand with Terry or nobody else. That's simple," end quote. We have more on Penn State football and sports coming up later in this newscast. Back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Penn State struck out trying to hire BYU's coach, but the State College Food Bank received an unexpected gift from fans in Utah. A social media post went viral urging BYU fans to donate to the food bank here. The effort led to donations totaling nearly $5,000. The food bank says that's enough to provide 1 to 2 weeks worth of groceries for 500 people. Still to come on the Center County Report, more on the cold weather as we check the 7-day forecast.
And Pennsylvania prepares for a visit from the president next week. Also coming up, a Central PA community is raising money to restore a historic landmark.
When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile.
Todd's a joy.
Yes.
Todd's really is a great joy.
And you.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Keep going, keep going.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
President Donald Trump plans to travel to Pennsylvania on Tuesday, but exactly where he's going isn't clear yet. The White House says Trump wants to highlight his efforts to reduce inflation as fears mount about a worsening job market and signs that Americans are still feeling squeezed by high prices.
A Penn Valley community is coming together to restore a historic landmark in the town. I traveled to Millheim to take a closer look. Robert Ziegler made a promise.
We had a resident named Carl Rote that came in, and he was basically saying about how he wanted the clock tower to be operational again. And I promised him I'd look into it.
Carl Rote died a few years ago, and Ziegler is taking his promise to Carl seriously. He is working to restore the clock at Penn Valley Calvary Church.
So my mission is kind of to actually make it a reality.
The building was established as a church, and 2 years later, in 1886, the clock was added. It quickly became the most popular viewing point in town and served as a public timekeeper. Now, decades later, the clock stays frozen in time. The borough seems to support the restoration project.
It does seem to get a lot of the community behind it.
Ziegler said he has a lot of help lined up, including people to fix the mechanics of the clock. The structure will take resources and, more importantly, money.
The hope is that we get about $30,000 as a seed money at a minimum. Worst case, we can use that for grant matching and things like that.
Pastor Stacy Sublett doesn't seem as optimistic.
I'm not a repair guy, but I can tell you that if somebody told you that they could do this for $30,000, that's way too low.
The church is still in use without the clock, and Sublett thinks the money could be invested elsewhere.
I would much rather invest money in people than in buildings.
But people in this community see it differently.
And it sounds good when that bell really rings, so yeah, I kind of miss it.
I've always seen that clock tower every morning when I got on the bus, so it's kind of just like a staple for Millheim.
Ziegler sees benefits for the area like tourism, and for those first steps, awareness is key. In Millheim, I'm Alec Brown for the Center County Report. Donations can be made to the Millheim Borough. Now, here's Luke with the weather.
Thank you so much. And definitely going to be a little bit warmer here in the studio now that I'm not outside, but we're still going to see some of those chillier conditions persisting throughout much of the day. Now looking here at Beaver Stadium again, some of that snow is still going to be blanketing the surface, and those overcast skies will begin to continue persisting on. But we're going to be seeing temperatures slowly start creeping up and throughout the rest of the day. So right now we're sitting around 23 degrees, with that feels like still below what is actually being recorded outside at around 16 degrees, dew point of 10 degrees right now, and those winds coming in from the south at around 6 miles per hour. For our radar and satellite though, not much activity is going to be going on, just some clouds blanketing much of the state, and we're going to see that trend continue throughout the rest of the day as well. But for our current temperatures around center Pennsylvania, in the upper teens and lower 20s for many, as we expand out, that trend is going to continue to hold true for much of Pennsylvania. The only really warm pocket we have right now is in our southeast corner by Philadelphia, but with those wind chill conditions, again, temperatures will be well below what is actually being recorded outside. Many places around 10 to 15 degrees below, or 10 to 15 degrees cooler than what is actually recorded outside, especially up here in our northern tier in Bradford, feeling like 8 degrees right now with some of those more chillier conditions persisting. And now, how does this compare to yesterday? Obviously, a bit of a cool down, especially in the eastern half of Pennsylvania. Some places seeing 15 degrees cooler today than they saw at this time yesterday. So definitely going to be seeing that pretty dramatic increase or decrease in temperatures throughout the day as well. And now, how does this compare to average? We typically see temperatures in the lower 40s here in State College, and our forecasted high for today is only going to be at around 28 degrees. So definitely going to be seeing those unseasonable conditions, and our forecasted minimum as well in the lower 20s. So definitely on that chillier side, and that's going to continue for many places across the state as well. But how's it going to hold up for the rest of the day though? Clouds are going to continue to persist throughout much of the Commonwealth. We're going to see a few lake effect showers begin to build overnight and into tomorrow morning as well, but those aren't going to be sticking around for quite as long. Looking into the rest of that weekend, again, some of those showers continuing in the northeastern corner by Erie, but we're going to see our next big system slide its way through on Sunday evening, bringing in around ½ inch to an inch of snowfall for many of us here throughout the state. But as that continues to move through, another cold front sweeps its way across New England, bringing much chillier conditions on Monday, but not much precipitation with it. And our next batch of snow and mixed wintry slush is going to be on Wednesday, as we see some of those temperatures begin to increase. So we're going to be flirting with that freezing threshold for much of the day as that system moves through. But for the rest of today, again, a high of 28 with those mostly cloudy conditions persisting as well. And for this evening, overcast skies yet again continuing with a low of 21. Winds do, however, calm down ever so slightly this evening. Now for tomorrow, high of around 39 degrees with minimal clearing in the sky. sky, and those winds do begin to pick up yet again. And for our 7-day forecast, again, you're going to be seeing temperatures pretty drastically dip down on Monday. Again, like I said, that cold front is going to be sweeping its way through, temperatures potentially even in the single digits as we move overnight, but there is potential for a bit of a warm up as we begin the next work week.
I hope you've warmed up since being outside earlier, because I'm definitely not ready to go back outside, even with all of my winter gear here.
Yeah, same here, Emma. It's kind of getting to that point of the year where, unfortunately, having a coat at all times is mandatory. But now, let's send it over to Amanda Vogt with sports.
Coming up in sports, Penn State volleyball gets ready for the first round of the NCAA tournament tonight. And Nittany Lions basketball ends its non-conference schedule on a high note. Hear from their coach after the break.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is Chip. And if you're like me, your pets mean the world to you. And if disaster strikes, saving them is a priority. Learn how to keep your best friends safe at AmericanHumane.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I'm Amanda Vogt with sports. Penn State football season isn't over quite yet. The Nittany Lions are bowl eligible and are waiting for their destination. The Nittany Lions won their last 3 games under interim head coach Terry Smith. With conference championship games happening tomorrow, bowl games will be announced on Sunday after the college football playoff bracket gets finalized. The Pinstripe Bowl and the Music City Bowl are 2 popular possible options for the Nittany Lions, but a lot remains up in the air with the coaching search still continuing on. The high school football season is over in Central PA. Bishop Guilfoyle from Altoona went to Cumberland Valley yesterday for the 1A championship game. After the Whistles reporter Bailey DePorcher was there.
Bishop Guilfoyle entered today's game as 5-time state champs, hoping to make it a 6th. They traveled over 2 hours east to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania to face the last hurdle of their 13-3 season, the Clareton Bears. With temperatures in the high 20s and the wind whipping, the Marauders held the Bears to just 1 touchdown and a failed 2-point conversion in the first quarter.
This time last year, Bishop Guilfoyle came here to Chapman Stadium with the hopes of winning the 1A football state team championships. They did just that. This year, they're coming home with a different story.
Last year, I mean, it was almost a perfect season. You know, we had everything clicking. We had so much talent across the board, and going into this year, you know, we had a lot of questions.
But in the second quarter, Clareton picked up speed, putting up another touchdown, followed this time by a successful 2-point conversion. BG got their first points right before halftime with a 28-yard field goal by junior kicker Carter Boland. But Bishop Guilfoyle would struggle to make a dent in the Bears' lead. They rushed for a -1 yard, while Clareton had more than 300 total yards. The Bears would also sack Marauders quarterback Justin Wheeler 5 times on their way to the 35-3 victory.
I know
of the other 100 and some teams in single A, every one of them would have traded, even with a loss today, would have traded to be here.
Senior Jake Kissel had 21 rushing yards out of the Marauders' 77 yards of total offense. He was a versatile player for his team this season, playing multiple positions including quarterback, linebacker, and tight end.
What we do is special. It's really a special place, so I couldn't be prouder, and it's just I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
In Mechanicsburg, reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Bailey Tporser.
Penn State volleyball is set to play in the first round of the NCAA tournament tonight in Texas against South Florida. After a challenging season, Penn State made the field and is the only program to compete in the tournament in all 45 years since it began in 1981. The Nittany Lions are an 8th seed and the match begins tonight at 5:30 p.m. And we have some news for the men's volleyball team. Coach Mark Pavlik announced that he will retire at the end of Penn State's 2026 season. Pavlik is the 4th winningest coach in collegiate volleyball all time. Now over to the wrestling mat, where Penn State is back in action this weekend. Coming off a national championship last year and big wins at the Black Knight Invitational last weekend, the Nittany Lions head to Drexel for a match tonight. They'll return to Rec Hall on Sunday to face Lehigh. The 8-1 Penn State men's basketball team will open conference play on the road next Tuesday against Indiana. This week, the Nittany Lions maintain their perfect home record in a matchup against Campbell University. Standout offensive performances from Caden Mingo and Freddie DeLeon made the 87-76 win possible, but it was far from pretty.
It was a choppy game for us, but I was proud of our guys, especially down the stretch, of having composure for a young team.
Penn State will return home on December 13th, and there's a lot that's going to happen between now and then. I know I'm going to be paying a close attention to the coaching search football-wise, but volleyball with a huge opportunity this weekend as well.
Well, yeah, USC is going to be a really big matchup for them. They're not the same juggernaut that they were last year. And also for basketball, a young team going against some big Big Ten competition is going to be really helpful for them in the long run.
And who knows going to be coaching for the Penn State bowl game? Terry Smith, a new coach. We'll have to see. Thanks, Amanda. Coming up next, Penn State's School of Music will put on a unique student showcase this weekend. More details after the break.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
There's been another deadly shooting at a local elementary school. According to authorities, the suspect acquired the gun from a family member's home before using it to take the lives of innocent children and teachers.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Penn State's School of Music returns with an annual holiday tradition this weekend. Mosaic is an immersive student showcase featuring performances from soloists to large orchestras throughout the venue. It's presented as a continuous program without applause breaks. The concert is set for Sunday at 4 p.m. in the Eisenhower Auditorium. Tickets are available on Ticketmaster. And that's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Tuesday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, And you can see our stories on Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good weekend.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
The new Walk MS experience was so uplifting. All of us are coming together, not only for that walk day, but for every day.
I love the energy at Walk MS. It is community, it is family. I can ride that high for the rest of the year.
A cure is on the line for me.
A cure is on the line for all of us.
They save lives and might save your house someday, but Pennsylvania's volunteer fire companies are facing a serious crisis.
It's a downhill spiral. I don't know where it's going to stop or how, but it's not sustainable, the path we're on.
Plus, the most dangerous time of the year. We'll look into Pennsylvania's deer crash problem.
And a beloved local celebrity is sharing a lifetime of stories in his new book. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Patrick Gray.
And I'm Hannah George. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the first significant storm of the season is bringing snow and dangerous driving conditions to central Pennsylvania. Reporter Ava Brown is live in University Park with more. Ava?
Thanks, Hannah. Snow fell all morning here on Penn State's campus, but now has pushed into eastern Pennsylvania. About 2 to 5 inches covered areas of Center County. Snowplows were out today clearing neighborhoods, local roads, and interstate highways. Most schools are closed for the day, and Penn State canceled classes, activities, and work until noon. Most main roads are now plowed and wet, but side roads are slippery, and numerous accidents were reported this morning around the area. This same storm could bring as much as 10 inches of snow to parts of New England. Now, with more on the weather, is student meteorologist Filippo Formica.
Thanks, Ava. It is a winter wonderland out there this morning. A live look at the Penn State Arboretum showing that wet, heavy snow on the ground and on the trees as well, something that we don't typically see out of anything besides our Christmas storybooks. Right now here in State College, 32 degrees with a dew point of 30. Our winds are calm. We have a few struggling showers, but this is due to a storm system that moved through last night, bringing in some heavy snow at times across areas of central Pennsylvania. The only areas that really didn't see much snow were in southeast Pennsylvania. Let's break this down by the numbers. 3 inches recorded here in State College. A wet, heavy snow, tough to shovel. Seasonal snowfall to date, 4.9 inches. Our average December snowfall is about 7.6 inches. So we're well on our way, but now let's head back to the desk.
Thanks, Filippo. Along with the weather at this time of year, there's another threat on the road: wildlife. In fact, this is one of the worst times for deer crashes, and Pennsylvania is one of the worst states. Reporter Noah Flannard has the story.
Keck's Collision Repair in Hauserville says business is booming, and usually does, from September through December.
We see them in every color, every make, every model. It doesn't really seem to matter what it is.
The reason? Deer. Lots of them. Animal car crashes spike in the fall, and Pennsylvania is one of the most dangerous states in the country. Number 5 on the annual list from State Farm Insurance. The data shows you have a 1 in 62 chance to hit a deer during your drive in PA. And the average cost of a deer-related crash is $4,300. That means a lot of business for auto body shops like Keck's.
There's a fair amount. I mean, you come into a couple towed in every couple days. It's a lot all at once.
Between July 2024 and June of this year, there were 1.7 million animal collision insurance claims, with 1.1 million involving deer. There were just above 5,800 deer-related crashes in PA last year, resulting in nearly 1,300 injuries and 9 deaths. Hannah Gerhardt, a student at Penn State, was one of those accidents.
Yeah, so it did leave a dent. And I didn't really know what to do at first. Like, I'd never hit anything before.
I'm here off of Scotia Range Road at the Pennsylvania game lands used for hunting, just off of I-99. And according to the Center Daily Times, about 14% of all deer accidents within the last 5 years have occurred on this 10-mile stretch of the interstate. Jeremy Wolfgang, an avid hunter, said miles of the forest line the sides of I-99, which contributes to the condensed area of collisions.
They're still there because the food's there. They're going to follow the food. They're going to follow where they need to go.
The fall mating season for deer, along with more driving in the dark and hunters in the woods, all contribute to the spike in deer accidents. In State College, I'm Noah Flannard for the Center County Report.
Patton Township leads Center County in deer crashes with 55 in the past 5 years.
Volunteer fire companies across Center County are facing serious staffing and funding challenges. Reporter Sarah Grosh is live in our studio with an in-depth look at the issue. Sarah?
Hannah, these volunteers are dedicated and doing everything they can. But with the rising costs of operation and decrease in members, many Pennsylvania fire companies are struggling to survive. They're pillars of the community across Pennsylvania, who are fighting battles of their own. Volunteer fire companies are a longtime first responder tradition across the state, but many are now in serious jeopardy.
It's a downhill spiral. I don't know where it's going to stop or how, but it's not sustainable, the path we're on.
The threat is twofold. First, a decline in the number of volunteer firefighters, from 300,000 in the 1970s to less than 40,000 now. Plus a funding crisis as they try to keep trucks rolling. Alpha Fire Company President Christopher Williams says he struggles to understand how smaller rural fire departments survive.
I don't understand how people that are doing gun raffles and bingos and potato pancake sales can do that.
Williams has deep gratitude for the resources Alpha has in State College in comparison to others. Alpha is one of the largest volunteer fire companies on the East Coast, with 3 stations and more than 100 active members. The company responded to over 1,400 incidents in 2023, the latest numbers available. That was the most call-outs since at least 2013. Alpha firefighters cover the borough plus College, Patton, and Ferguson townships. They also provide aid to Harris and Half Moon townships. In between emergencies, there are lighter moments. Firefighters also engage with the community through activities like school visits, where they educate kids on fire safety. Logan Fire Company in Bellefonte recently hosted an open house.
Take a deep breath. You're on air.
Chief Bobby Salvanish says events like this are far better than when they meet many residents at a fire or accident scene.
We enjoy doing the open house. This is one of the good things that we get to do. Usually when we get to meet people for the first time, it's on their worst day of their lives.
In order to be ready for those calls, they need reliable and updated equipment, from trucks to gear. And those costs are rising fast. One example is over the past decade, the cost of fire engines like these have nearly doubled. And those prices are staggering. A new engine can cost $1 million. Turnout gear can be $2,500 per firefighter. And breathing apparatus costs about $6,000 each. That makes fundraising critical, including some unique events. The annual Pumpkin Chunkin' Flying Pumpkins event in October raised money for the Howard Fire Company.
And Boalsburg Fire Company has been working hard to raise funds, from raffles to other events.
That's what makes a lot of fire departments really struggle, because they're asking the demands of the firefighters to make money, earn money through carnival, fund drive, boot drives, hoagie sales, all this type of stuff.
But with costs rising and less firefighters, some stations are gasping for air.
All of us have full-time jobs. Fortunately, some of us are able to leave our jobs if we need to be able to respond to calls, but still it's definitely difficult.
And getting tougher, a continuing challenge for Center County's 18 fire companies working together to protect the community. I'm Sarah Grosh for the Center County Report. Despite the challenges, the fire companies are continuing to support their communities by spreading holiday cheer. Boalsburg and Mountaintop Fire Companies will bring Santa to town in the upcoming weeks. I'm Sarah Grosh reporting. Back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Accused killer Luigi Mangione is back in court this week as he fights to bar evidence from his murder trial. Mangione is charged with killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York sidewalk last year. Police arrested him 5 days later at a McDonald's in Altoona. His lawyers are trying to get certain evidence thrown out, including the gun prosecutors say matches the one used in the attack. They say police didn't have a warrant to search his backpack.
A new study led by Penn State scientists shows a disturbing trend when it comes to skin cancer in Pennsylvania. It showed counties with or near cultivated cropland had much higher melanoma rates compared to other areas. Researchers analyzed 5 years of cancer data from 2017 through 2021 and found adults over 50 living in a 15-county stretch of central Pennsylvania were 57% more likely to develop melanoma than anywhere else in the state. They believe pesticides and herbicides are a factor, but the cancer cluster includes both rural and metropolitan counties.
State College is launching a grant program designed to help brick-and-mortar entrepreneurs open businesses downtown. The Retail Launch Assistance Program, funded by the Borough Redevelopment Authority, provides businesses with professional services including design, contracting, and permitting. Applicants must be first-time or relocating businesses within the Downtown Improvement District, provide proof of local residency, and submit a viable business plan with financial projections.
Happy Valley Casino has revealed new renderings for the project under construction at Nittany Mall. With a grand opening scheduled for April, the casino will feature 600 slot machines, 2 eateries, and a bar. There's also a sports-themed restaurant. Plans call for 30 table games across 4 pits. Games include roulette, poker, Texas Hold'em, Spanish 21, and blackjack. And State College's new drive-through coffee shop 7 Brew is officially open. Located in Hills Plaza on South Atherton Street, this is the first of the chain's shops in Center County. It features a dual-lane drive-through for staff to take customers' orders. The shop is open weekdays from 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. and 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. on weekends.
Still to come on the Center County Report, the latest on Penn State's football coaching search.
And more on the weather and this week's cold. Also coming up, one of Penn State's legends decides to finally share his story with the world.
Penn State Hub Roberson Center has opened its 3rd floor after a year of renovations. The expansion on the 26,000 square foot space includes more offices for student organizations, more storage area, and reservable rooms for both long and short-term projects.
Penn State's online campus just received a national honor. The university's World Campus is ranked the #1 online college for veterans by the Military Times in its Best for Vets list. World Campus offers over 200 degrees and certificates and features a dedicated military support team. It also offers a military aid grant program that lowers undergraduate tuition by more than 40%.
A Penn State legend has published a memoir sharing his stories with the world. Reporter Sarah Grosh takes a closer look.
Oh, these are nice and soft.
Eating oatmeal raisin cookies, using personal and postage stamps,
I used to have a picture of him up there.
and reminiscing on fond memories are among Mike the mailman's favorite things. Mike Herr retired from the U.S. Postal Service 9 years ago, but his local legacy is stronger than ever.
A lot of people think I worked at the post office for 48 years. I did not. I was employed by the post office. What I did, I wouldn't call work.
Penn State University's favorite campus mailman is now sharing his life story, favorite memories, and humor in his new passion project, a memoir titled Pushing the Envelope. It's a self-published book written and produced alongside his daughter, Mary Kate Herr Weeks.
It was silly. Everything I did it was fun. I had a good time.
He grew up in Lock Haven and decided to stay close to home. He started in the Fraser Street Post Office in 1968 and moved to the office on campus 7 years later.
It was the most unpostal post office because my wall was full of Penn State memorabilia and all these little silly things.
Despite the fact he retired nearly a decade ago, Mike still has an impact on past and present Penn Staters.
But it's just so heartwarming that people remember me. And at the time I was working, I was just being myself.
His daughter is filled with pride as she recalls how many lives her dad has touched over the years. At a recent book signing, she reflected on the power of positivity.
I mean, people are buying them, so maybe kindness does sell.
While Mike may not work here anymore, he still touches the lives of many students. He collaborates with the Penn State Lion Ambassadors as well as Thon each year. From that famous dance marathon to his YouTube football show, even serving as the homecoming parade grand marshal, Mike is still plenty active around town. But the book is about more than just sharing his story. There's a bigger message and goal.
I think you can never have too much humor and kindness, and sometimes that's forgotten. And so I think our hope with the book is to remind people that it's okay to laugh and it's okay to be kind.
Mike turns 80 this December, but he is certainly not done pushing the envelope. In University Park, I'm Sarah Grosh for the Center County Report.
You can buy Mike's book in downtown State College or online. Now let's check the weather.
And travel was made difficult this morning by a snowstorm that pushed through the region, bringing a consistent 2 to 5 inches of snow. But here at the Penn State golf courses, 3 inches of snow recorded this morning. And we still have some overcast skies right now. Our current temperature in State College, 32 degrees, our dew point 30. Our winds still remaining calm. And right now, looking at this storm system, we still have some snow falling around Scranton and the Endless Mountains region of northeast Pennsylvania. A lot of mixed precipitation through Allentown and up into areas of northwest New Jersey. The only areas remaining all rain are southeast of I-78. And we're going to see this system continuing to push out, but we still have winter weather advisories across areas of northwest Pennsylvania, the Laurel Highlands, and into northeast Pennsylvania. Those go throughout the rest of the day today. And let's time out the rest of this storm system moving out right now, but still some wraparound showers behind. So we could see a few flakes throughout the rest of the day today, but nothing significant enough to accumulate on the roads or even the ground as we go just above freezing. So our temperatures across the Commonwealth right now, 32 here in State College, 30 in Clearfield, 29 in Johnstown, 39 in Philadelphia. The reason why they're remaining all rain there, just a bit too warm and a little bit too close to the ocean. And as the ocean temperatures moderate the temperature in southeast Pennsylvania. Our average high temperature this time of the year is 42 degrees. We're forecasting a high of 33. Our average low temperature 29, forecasting a low of 24. So below average temperatures continuing throughout the day today, a high of 33. Those snow showers waning, a north-northwesterly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we go into tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 24. And into the day tomorrow, remaining below freezing, 30 degrees and partly sunny. As we go throughout the end of this week, we're going to see our feels-like temperatures drop into the single digits. Friday morning, 2 degrees potentially our feels-like temperature across areas of central Pennsylvania. And our 7-day outlook showing plenty of cold going into Thursday night into Friday morning, a low of 10 degrees. Our high temperature on Friday, 24 degrees. Saturday remaining below freezing, 28. And we could see some snow showers again on Sunday, guys. So the snow and the cold, it's all here just in time for meteorological winter.
I know. I like the snow. I like a little bit of a chill, but I'm not a fan of the 10 degrees, I have to say, the single digits.
Yeah, I agree. I love the snow. Not huge on the cold weather, but hey, they say it builds character, so you know what.
Yeah, definitely a day to get those extra layers on across Pennsylvania Friday morning.
I know. I pulled out my long coat today. Well, thanks, Filippo. Now we'll head over to Mariah with sports.
Still ahead in sports, a waiting game for Penn State football for a new coach and a bowl destination. And the Lionettes dance team gets a major boost after budget cuts put their championship trip in doubt. I'm Riley Zondo with sports. The waiting game continues for Penn State football. The search goes on for a new head coach with the December recruiting signing period beginning tomorrow. Meantime, interim head coach Terry Smith earned his third win as Penn State beat Rutgers on Saturday.
Penn State closed its regular season with a hard-fought win over Rutgers that gave the Nittany Lions a shot at a bowl game in an otherwise forgettable year.
No one knows Penn State better than me. You know, of all the candidates that are out there, I know the history of Penn State. I know the culture, the DNA.
The Lions fell behind early as Rutgers quickly moved downfield and finished its opening drive with a touchdown run by Antoine Raymond. But Penn State responded with the 53-yard launch downfield from Ethan Grunkemeyer to Andrew Rappelier to even the score 7-7. Penn State's offense continued to move the ball consistently on the ground and through the air. Rutgers matched Penn State through most of the night. After the Lions opened the third quarter with a field goal, Rutgers answered with a touchdown, keeping the pressure on and the game within reach. Rutgers had one final chance on offense, but linebacker Amari Campbell recovered a fumble and raced for 61 yards. The Penn State defense held and sealed the win.
You know, my goal is to finish this season off with 3 victories in a row, get us bowl eligible, and then get prepared for a bowl game after that.
Nick Singleton set 3 Penn State records: career touchdowns, total touchdowns, and all-purpose yards. And Katron Allen rushed for more than 200 yards, putting him over 4,000 for his career. Next up for 6-6 Penn State is a bowl matchup to be announced on Sunday.
We'll update you as soon as news breaks on the coaching search. In high school football, Bishop Guilfoyle in Altoona is playing for a state championship on Thursday against Clareton in Cumberland Valley. The Marauders are coming off a 35-0 win in the semifinal against Belmont chapter. Senior Jake Kissel led the way offensively, tossing 3 touchdowns and adding another on the ground. They're going for a back-to-back Class 1A titles and BG's 6th state championship. To the ice now. Penn State men's hockey is in the middle of a 41-day holiday break. The team returns with a series against RIT in January. The Nittany Lions are 11-5 on the season, and the women's team is 17-1. They're also on break until a December 30th game against Cornell. The Penn State men's basketball team tries to extend its 2-game win streak tonight against Campbell. The Nittany Lions are 7-1 on the season after beating Boston University last week. And the Lady Lions play Nebraska on Saturday at the BJC. They're now 6-1 after beating Yale on Sunday. Now an update on the Penn State Lionettes dance team, which was trying to raise money to fund a national trip to competition in Florida. University athletics budget cuts put the trip in jeopardy for the 3-time national champion squad. But the Lionettes launched a fundraising campaign on their own and raised $70,000, so the trip is on. Meantime, the University Park Undergraduate Association is urging Penn State to restore funding to the team. Now that's all I have for sports, but guys, Penn State's bowl eligible. Where do we see them going?
I'm thinking the Pinstripe Bowl. I'd love to see that, and even more so, a chance to see them play Pitt. As a Pittsburgher, I would really enjoy that game.
See, I want to see them in the Pop-Tart Bowl. I just think it's a lot of fun seeing that kind of environment, seeing those mascots. That's just a personal wish of mine.
Just the name sounds fun, and let's not forget there is still a new head coach that is going to be searching. There's been rumors, but I don't know.
It's been a little frustrating because of all the rumors that's been out there so far, but with every other school getting their coach.
Yes, well, thanks, Mariah. Coming up next, for the first time ever, Pennsylvania has restaurants that have earned a coveted World Award. Find out where they are.
3 Pennsylvania restaurants have earned the coveted Michelin Star Award. Philadelphia Eateries, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Her Place Supper Club, and Providence each earned a spot in the exclusive Michelin Guide. A Michelin star is considered one of the highest honors a restaurant can receive, and these are the first stars ever awarded in Pennsylvania.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.
Coming up next, the holiday travel season begins in Center County with thousands traveling in and out the area. We have a live update.
Plus, it's the most dangerous time of the year for a certain threat on the roads, especially here in Pennsylvania.
And a spike in abandoned animals at local shelters. But see who's stepping in to help these pets.
Being able to give her to another family after she was with people all the time was amazing.
The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Hope Green.
And I'm Amanda Vogt. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the busy holiday travel season begins today. In Center County, thousands of people are heading to State College for a football weekend, just as thousands of students and others leave town for Thanksgiving. Reporter Kaylee Tallman is live at the bus station in State College with more. Kaylee?
Yeah, Amanda, behind me you're looking at a pretty empty bus station. There are a couple of straggling travelers over there, but that has not been the case all morning this morning. We've seen probably 7 or 8 buses full of students going home for Thanksgiving break come in and out of that bus station, and that busyness has been true all across the country. Now, AAA expects that over 82 million travelers are expected to go at least 50 miles from home this Thanksgiving, marking a new record. They also expect 73 million will travel by car, marking an increase of 1.3 million compared to last year. In terms of flying, things should be a whole lot smoother now that the shutdown is over. And actually, I spoke to an airport employee at the Philadelphia airport last week who said the days leading up to Thanksgiving are much busier than normal.
Well, usually when I come in, it's TSA lines. The wait will be 10 minutes. And around Thanksgiving, you'll probably have to wait 20 minutes plus all day.
Now, in terms of a bus ticket back into State College the Sunday after Thanksgiving, I can tell you those are pretty hard to come by. I was looking online earlier this morning at some of those bus sites, and I was seeing only 1 or 2 seats left for all of the trips coming back on that Sunday, particularly out of major cities like Philadelphia, like Pittsburgh, and also like New York. So if you are coming back home from break on that Sunday, make sure to be prepared for that, as well as the longer TSA wait times that are expected, and the traffic that comes on the highways, especially on the Wednesday and Sunday before and after Thanksgiving as well. Now, in terms of the weather, I can tell you based on my winter coat right now, it is not tropical out here in State College, so I'm hoping things warm up a little bit when I go home from break, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. So let's check in with student meteorologist Daniel Weaver to get that forecast.
Thanks, Kaylee. Shouldn't be too many issues, at least in terms of weather-wise, for the buses there on the ground. Can't say anything about the traffic up in the air, though. No delays really throughout any of the major airports. I know O'Hare and Pittsburgh, Philadelphia are some of the big airports that State College flies out of, but no delays expected. Here's actually what I'm looking for. Having a few rainy travel days next week with some East Coast rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and then some Midwest snow by mid to late next week, and then big cool down for the end of the week. But here's a quick map of what I'm expecting. Some rain across the Midwest with some snow, but in the backside, and then across the Northwest too, but no big impacts here for your Thanksgiving travel here in PA. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Daniel. This time of year, with more drivers traveling, along with the weather, there's another threat on the road: wildlife. In fact, this is one of the worst times of the year for deer crashes, and Pennsylvania is one of the worst states. Andrew Matz reports.
It can happen in an instant. You're driving along, and all of a sudden, boom, you're pulling deer hair out of the front of your car, or worse.
And you can have deer vehicle collisions any time of the year.
But right now, between October and December is the worst, according to Don Wagner, manager of the Penn State Deer Research Center. The reasons include more hunters moving deer and the rut, the annual deer breeding season.
Their heads are usually down following the trail of a doe, or a doe's being chased across roads that they might not typically go across.
Wagner says lack of daylight also plays a big role, with earlier sunsets and later sunrises during commuting hours.
Deer are typically more active at dawn and dusk, and then when we shift those hours and there's more commuters driving during that time.
A State Farm insurance report shows you have a pretty high chance, 1 in 62, of hitting an animal while driving in Pennsylvania. Our state ranks 5th most in the U.S., and one recent report shows Pennsylvania again led the nation in animal collision insurance claims in the last fiscal year.
Deer collisions happen mostly in the middle of November, so if you are driving like these people right behind me, make sure that your head's up.
The deer crossing signs are Those are areas where there's traditionally been a lot of deer vehicle collisions.
Statistics show about 14% of reported deer collisions in Center County have happened on a 10-mile stretch of I-99. If you do hit a deer, pull over and check to see if your car is drivable. Call the police if not. In State College, I'm Andrew Matz for the Center County Report.
Patton Township leads Center County in deer crashes with 55 in the past 5 years.
The Trump administration is threatening to withhold nearly $75 million in funding if Pennsylvania does not immediately revoke what the administration claims are illegally issued commercial driver's licenses to immigrants. The move by Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy to target Pennsylvania follows similar action against California. It's unclear how many people would be affected in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Police has released immigration and customs enforcement video from a highway stop in Center County. After a lawsuit by the Center Daily Times, police released this footage from an ICE operation back in August in Benner Township. The video shows troopers arriving at the scene of a stop and returning to the vehicle shortly after. State police say they did not help ICE, but simply checked on the situation. ICE says it arrested 24 people for immigration violations. Immigration rights groups said the men were traveling to their job at the Mount Nittany Medical Center construction site.
Pennsylvania U.S. Senator John Fetterman is back home after he stayed in the hospital last week. He shared a social media post showing injuries after he fell during a walk. He said he needed 20 stitches. Fetterman's office says a heart flare-up caused him to feel lightheaded and fall. He suffered a stroke 3 years ago.
Engineers are still working on a plan to fix structural issues at Penn State's Susan Welch Liberal Arts Building. It's expected to be shut down at least for the rest of the semester and maybe longer after a crack developed last week. Firefighters said part of a floor dropped about 2 inches and a crack opened on a wall. Classes have been moved to other locations, and we asked Penn State for an update. A spokesperson would only refer us to a previous statement.
After a 4-month budget delay in Harrisburg, Penn State is getting its general appropriations funds for the next year. State lawmakers have passed a budget that includes level funding for the university of $242 million. That's the same amount Penn State has received for each of the last 6 fiscal years. It hasn't seen an increase since 2019. The budget does include a funding increase for Penn Tech.
A new study led by Penn State scientists shows a disturbing trend when it comes to skin cancer in Pennsylvania. It showed counties that contained or are near cultivated cropland had much higher melanoma rates compared to other regions. Researchers analyzed 5 years of cancer data from 2017 through 2021 and found adults over 50 living in a 15-county stretch of central Pennsylvania were 57% more likely to develop melanoma than elsewhere in the state. They believe pesticides and herbicides are a factor, but the cancer cluster includes both rural and metropolitan counties.
A change is coming to Penn State after today that will affect thousands of employees and students. Today is the final day the university's current Wi-Fi network will be in use. Earlier this year, Penn State announced the PSU network would transition to EduRoam. The new network will take over as the main network for the University Park campus. There's also a supplemental network called PSU Personal, which some devices like gaming consoles and smart TVs may need in on-campus dorms.
The number of abandoned pets is rising in Center County, filling up local animal shelters. Reporter Anna LaCastro explains.
It's a problem that Center County has been dealing with for years, and recently it's getting worse.
It's definitely increased just in the year that I've been doing this, for sure. I mean, even just earlier this week, I had somebody surrender 9 puppies to me.
The number of abandoned or surrendered dogs and cats has increased to the point where shelters like Center County Paws are out of room and surrender wait lists are growing longer. Fortunately, Paws has a reliable network of helpers. College students, who are often accused of contributing to the problem of abandoned animals, actually make up a big portion of those coming to the rescue. Helena Hoffman and her Penn State roommate fostered Nova from Paws their sophomore year.
My roommate wakes me up and she's like, look at this dog. Like, please look at this dog.
Nova had been hit by a car and needed some special love and care.
She just came out of surgery that day. And so they needed someone to like help her through the healing process. So we commented on the post, and they were like, are you sure? Like, she's a puppy and she just got surgery and you guys have never fostered before. We're like, yes, like, we want her.
Helena and her roommate had Nova for 4 months before she eventually found her forever home.
Being able to like give her to another family after she was like with people all the time was amazing.
Mariah Elizondo is fostering kittens for the second time. These two are a little shy, but they're starting to warm up to their new space.
You have to show them, like, I'm a person that's going to love you. I'm not going to a person that's going to harm you.
Those fostering from paws don't have to worry about the extra costs that come with caring for an animal.
With the animal, they get food, litter pan, pooper scooper, toys, bed, carrier, everything they would need.
For those interested in fostering a cat or dog, Center County Paws has all the information you need available on its website.
We couldn't bring in the number of animals we do if we didn't have fosters.
In State College, I'm Anna LaCastro for the Center County Report.
With college students heading home for the holidays soon, Center County Paws will be looking for more fosters in the area.
Still to come on the Center County Report, a look at the 7-day forecast, including Thanksgiving.
And Penn State receives a top national ranking for one of its programs. Also coming up, kicking off the holiday season with an annual tradition in downtown State College. We'll take you there next.
Another high rise is set to join the State College skyline. Construction is underway on East College Avenue for a 12-story mixed-use apartment complex called The Mark. The land was previously home to the downtown McDonald's. Some might remember Penn State students held a candlelight vigil for the restaurant when it closed last November. Construction on The Mark is expected to be done by summer of 2028.
The holiday season is officially underway in State College after a popular tradition continued last night. Reporter Emma Goldkopf takes you to Light Up Night.
Put your holiday hats on because State College is in the holiday spirit. Hundreds of people gathered on Allen Street, Calder Way, and MLK Plaza to join in on the celebration.
Seeing everyone coming together, like all the little kids, it's so cute, and they're like seeing Santa. It's just like getting me in the spirit, especially being away from home.
The 6th annual Light Up Night is an event that brings the community together with everything from live performances to balloon animals and, of course, visits with Santa. There's a little something for everyone.
And for those feeling the cold today, free hot chocolate and apple cider are sure to help.
It's Andy Richards' first time performing at Light Up Night with the Nittany Highland Pipe Band. He joined the band 5 years ago along with his son.
It's really nice. It's a great thing to be able to do, and I really enjoy being a part of that with him especially. It's really neat.
To add to the family fun, Santa's helpers made an appearance.
I'm with Tempest Studios down on Kelly Avenue. Every year, for the past few years, we have costumes out, we have people with wings out. We're having a good time, making sure everyone else has a good time.
The night ended with Santa lighting the Christmas tree just outside the Allen Street gates, marking the official start of the season. In State College, I'm Emma Goldkopf for the Center County Report.
And the State College Borough will again offer free downtown parking this holiday season. It begins next Monday with 2 hours free in garages and no validation needed. Now, let's check the weather.
Thanks, Amanda. We might see a little bit of rain late tonight, very early tomorrow morning, but should not see any impacts on the football game. Speaking of which, here's a shot outside of Beaver Stadium. Got a lot of clouds in the sky, and that's actually going to put a cap a bit on the temperature as not too much sunlight is going to reach the surface to heat things up. But that's also going to keep us pretty warm overnight tonight, as not much heat will be able to escape into the atmosphere. So right now, though, we're sitting at a temperature of about 43 degrees right now, with mostly clear skies, cloudy skies rather. See, my clicker's not working. Let's see if I can do this. So here we go. So there's your temperature forecast for the next 12 hours. And as you can see here, though, temperatures will gradually start to decrease as the time period goes on, with temperatures lows in the 40s as we go throughout the night tonight, thanks to that cloud cover. Here's a look, though, at the almanac. You can see 49 is your average high today in State College. We're forecasting 52, so slightly above average, but you can really see that is in those overnight lows with 33 to 39 degrees for your temperature forecast compared to average. Speaking of which, tomorrow night for the football game, see clear skies which will cool things down though, but we'll see it start things off with a temperature of 39, then by the end of the game we'll see lows in the around 30 degrees, so don't forget those winter jackets if you are going to the game. Current satellite radar, just mostly cloudy skies throughout the region, no rain at all. Here's the temperatures though, 43.6 in State College, and across the region mostly in the mid-40s. In fact, Erie's a little bit warmer than State College, sitting at 47 degrees this morning, and it actually feels quite a bit warmer today compared to yesterday, seeing about 10-degree temperature change in the past 24 hours. Now it's the time out the future tracker with the rain and clouds, which is going to see mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few rain showers, but the bulk of it's going to stay to the south, though we'll see a few move through late tonight and early tomorrow morning before things clear up again as we get throughout the day tomorrow and in time for the game. So for today, we're seeing a temperature about 52 degrees after that fog that we saw early this morning. And then tonight, we're seeing temperature about 39 degrees, so a little bit warmer compared to average thanks to that cloud cover. Tomorrow, we'll see those temperatures drop a little bit to a high of 48 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And then for your Thanksgiving forecast, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies, though temperatures dropping off by Friday thanks to a cold front, which you can easily see better on that 7-day forecast as temperatures drop off as we get into throughout the week next week. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a break, ready to head home, see the family, and see my dog as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was paying real close attention to that game day forecast. You're going to need a lot of layers if you're going to Beaver Stadium tomorrow night.
It's definitely going to be cold for the game tomorrow night for sure.
And for more on the matchup itself, let's send it over to Nolan Collery with sports.
Coming up in sports, a longtime Penn State coach has accepted a job at the professional level after a disappointing season. And as Penn State football prepares for its final home game, former coach James Franklin gets a new job. We talk with players and coaches after the break. I'm Nolan Collery with sports. Penn State football plays its final home game of the season against Nebraska tomorrow. Coming off their first win in 2 months, the Nittany Lions hope to end a crazy season on a high note over the next 2 weeks. But there are some distractions.
It was an emotional whirlwind of a week for the Penn State football team. The first win of Terry Smith's career as interim head coach was an emotionally charged story of victory despite the odds against Michigan State. But an announcement from Blacksburg, Virginia, 2 days later, took the college football world by storm.
You could not have found a coach that's going to pour his heart and soul into this place more than me and my family. I give you my word on that. Sorry.
Virginia Tech announced James Franklin had been hired as the next head coach of the Hokies. When asked, Terry Smith wished his former boss well.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. You know, in this industry of coaching, you know, we all go through highs and lows.
Tight end Khalil Dinkins spent 5 years with Coach James Franklin and shared similar feelings as Smith.
Same here, excited for him. He's a great dude. I think he's going to do great things over there.